There is a story that is trending right now. And the reason for this trend is because the accused has given several prophecies relating to the politics in Nigeria, particularly that of the presidency. He spoke at length about Peter Obi being the president. He spoke about Bola Ahmed Tinubu being arrested. It's called Bishop Daniel Olua Feyi Rokpo. He has been accused by a 23-year-old woman who has dragged him to the court, a special court in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, called the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court. Bishop Daniel, the founder of Irene Christian Ministry, is standing trial on an amended 3-count charge bordering on rape and sexual assault, to which he pleaded not guilty. He was alleged to have committed the offences sometimes in June 2020 at Flat 4, Road 2, House 18, Ikota Villa Estate, Leki, Lagos State. The 23-year-old woman, whose name has been withheld, who is an assistant pastor at his church, testified in court at the trial on Tuesday, May 9th. She told Justice Ramon Oshodi that she was abused twice by the bishop in his residence. The witness said she knew the bishop on May 28, 2018, when her friend invited her to a church program where the bishop ministered at Akungba Akoko, Ondo. She said she became member of the church in Akungba and rose to the position of assistant pastor. She told the court that the bishop she regarded as a spiritual father abused her sexually at his residence on Flat 4, Road 2, House 18 at Ikota Villa Estate, Leki, Lagos on June 21st, 2020. She recounted the incident this way, and I'm going to go through it. She said, I was listening to Pastor Chris's message when Bishop came to the three-seater sofa I was sitting on. He told me to go nude for the third time, but due to fear of what happened the day before, I did what he instructed. The bishop locked the door, increased the volume of the television, and went nude too. He did a lot of things to me on the chair and abused me. He is obviously bigger than me, and I bled. I pleaded with him, but he did not listen. When I told him of the pleading, he said he knew that I should shut up. He then directed me to go and wash up. He collected my phone and cleaned the blood before I came out of the bedroom. He threatened that if I tell anybody, I will run mad. So I was in the guest room till the following day. On June 22nd, I sent a message to Pastor Boluwatishe and told him through a WhatsApp, which we usually chat, that I've been violated. She continued saying that the bishop did not allow her go out of the house after the first alleged encounter with him. She went on saying he sent the gate man, that's the security guard, instead anytime I needed anything. It was at this time that it was done on me that this man will continually do this to me. So for my safety, I was acting stupid and acted like I did not tell anyone. I was in the room when he came to me again and said he wanted to have one more time, but I refused. He was very angry. So I told him I had bruises on my organs from the previous violation. I was coming out from the room to the kitchen on June 23rd when he came out of his room too. He wrapped a towel and around him and he said he wanted to do once again. He said I should count it as a privilege that he violated me because many people would have loved to have something to do with an anointed person like himself. But I told him I have someone I am in a relationship with and I do not have any attraction to you. In the living room on that same morning of June 23rd, he took off my dress and did it forcefully. He told me I would die. I would run mad if I told anyone. According to her, she said she bled the second time because of this forceful entry. She further testified that Bishop had earlier made a phone call to her on June 5th, 2020, asking her and some other pastors to come to his house in Lagos. On June 19th, she said, when I got to the house, the bishop came out from the room saying that I have a query to answer. He said the punishment for me was to transcribe his message titled Fulfilling My Ministry. The following day, on June 20, only the bishop and I were left in the house after other pastors had left. He told me to go on a 3-hour prayer walk around the estate, but I came back home 30 minutes prior to the elapse of the prayer house due to heavy downpour. So he queried why I came back to the house earlier. I told him it was due to the heavy downpour. When I entered the guest room where I used to sleep, I met one sister, Jumi, who was also a member of the church. She was about taking a leave when I came inside the room. I was seated on the couch that same day, listening to Pastor Chris' message when the bishop walked up to me from the dining section and made comments on the teaching I was listening to. He ordered me to do the same thing again, which I did. Well, like most of these pastors will do, they will accuse you of not being submissive and loyal to him, to them as their spirit, as your spiritual father. He said he wanted to know my loyalty and see if I had finally submitted to him. I told him I could do anything for him, but not this one. He tried to cajole me, caress me. I stopped him and he slapped me. His eyes turned literally red. He was shouting and I was already in tears. He did slap again. He started telling me how he had taught me about honor and said that an angel came to him a night before and urged him to ask me to go nude. She said the bishop told her that an angel was going to test her to go nude and that she needed to prove the angel wrong by fully submitting to him. He said he liked his wife so much that he could never do such with her. He was in tears and said that I could not submit to him, so he ordered me to put on my clothes. I started begging him, but he said that I had disappointed him. She further told the court that after the bishop allegedly did all of this the second time, he came back begging her. She also said to the court that the bishop sent her the sum of 5,000 naira while he was in Ghana to treat herself after the bruises she sustained, which have turned into boils, and she could no longer pass urine. After listening to her testimony, Justice Oshodi adjourned the case to May 24, 2023 for cross-examination and continuation of the trial. Now, there are people who have berated this woman. They say this story is too dramatic. They say as a mature woman that you are, how come you cannot tell your friends? How come you cannot tell your parents? How come you cannot do something about it? But then, I need you to understand that if you have been under heavy manipulation, particularly from those who claim that they have this ministry called the prophetic. Some of them are children of Abbalist, Babalawo. Some of them are operating with marine powers. They appear clean because they're educated. They present themselves, but the source of their revelation and whatever they do is totally not related to the Holy Spirit. End of discussion. Such people will manipulate you. Such people will attack you spiritually. Such people will monitor you. And you will be surprised that with all the atrocity, they will still go on stage, mount the stage, claim that they are prophesying, and begin to cast out demons. You hear these demons speak. Who are you? I am this and that. And you will look at yourself like, I think God does not really know me. I think God must love him. And these pastors are very crude. They will begin to read certain scriptures, Bible verses that they want to use in manipulating you. They will tell you how David is after God's own heart, how David cannot touch the anointed Saul, how you will be cursed, how you should leave them for God. Whatever they do for you, leave them for God, because if you touch them, God will destroy you. They begin to manipulate you, making you feel small. They will give examples of how the sisters of Moses and brothers said this and that, and what happened to them because they mocked God anointed, they did this and that. They will tell you all sorts of things. They said even if Moses committed sin or did something by marrying someone from another part that shouldn't be married and all of that, if you speak against God's anointed, they will manipulate and tell you these things. If you are under this manipulation, there is nothing that you cannot do because you think God is with them. You think Holy Spirit is with them. You think they have power. So we cannot say this is not so. This case is in the court. And, some are saying these are all lies and all lies. It sounds dramatic, but these are allegations anyway. We'll see how all of this turns out in court. What are your thoughts as regards this? Have you ever experienced this? Do you have a story to share? Drop it in the comment section. Like and share this video. Subscribe to this channel.